Alright, time to see if there's anything else on this Christmas DVD worth reviewing. Well, taking out all the stuff that doesn't even hit 15 minutes and the stuff I've already covered, that gives us about 10 things, and most of them are boring dramas with terrible audio quality, so can't get much out of them. How about this one? A Little Christmas Magic. It's about 25 minutes long. Presented by Crayola, we're getting a special brought to us by Crayons.
That was one of your best landings yet, Flaps! It wasn't perfect, but I'm getting better.
All right, we could be the first ones to sled down the hill.
Are those the Rugrats? Holy shit, it is!
Stay together, don't go too far, and come home before dark.
Why does the dad sound so sexy?
I need just a small pinch of flour so I can bake my Christmas cookies.
Oh yes, Daddy, bake those cookies.
I can beat you all down the hill without using a sled.
How are you gonna do that?
By going bare bottom.
Keep your fucking pants on, kid.
Honky! Dory!
Honky and Dory, you named your kids after a racial slur and a fish? Well, that was perfectly charming. Not really enough material, though. Well, I guess that's it. I've exhausted absolutely everything on these two discs. There's nothing else worth talking about. A Christmas Tale? This one's so special it got its own disc? In this hilarious story of Christmas magic gone wrong, Tim turns into the dog he's been wishing for. Well, that sounds wacky enough. Alright, came out in 2000, good sign. That poster is certainly something. Every single thing about it is a work of art. One magical wish turns a rebel kid into a champion puppy. Okay, and the director is Craig Clyde. Craig Clyde, why does that sound familiar? IMDb says it was released to video in 1996 and was written and directed by Craig Clyde, who's written quite a few direct-to-TV and video movies over the years. Oh man, same guy who did Winslow the Christmas Bear, and this one's twice the length. And it does have the Dove Family Approved logo, that's important. Well, let's give it a shot. This is A Christmas Tale. So majestic. So we begin with a man after what appears to be a nuclear holocaust walking down the train tracks, as our main character, named Tim, tells us a narration from when he was an adult about the time an old man changed his life.
It doesn't seem like that long ago now, but it's been nearly 10 years.
So I'm listening to the narration of a 22-year-old man telling us about the time an old man changed his life. This isn't gonna end in a G rating. Oh, and this is very important. This movie features Anne Lockhart as Mary. If you're wondering who the hell Anne Lockhart is, yeah, I don't know. I looked on IMDb and she's done some voice work. So we see young Tim, played by Clayton Taylor, playing with a golden retriever named Ralph. It's not his, he actually belongs to this asshole. Anyway, Tim just wants a dog, but instead has to deal with these two who I think are the bullies from Hocus Pocus. One, a boy named Keith Carnady, and his Norwegian friend named Olaf, who I'm pretty sure is 35.
200 pounds and in the 8th grade. For the second time.
Yeah, more like 16th time.
Any similarity between Olaf and a human being was purely coincidental.
Dad, where is it? I got homework. Got a test tomorrow.
That happened. Anyway, a girl named Haley Bennett shows up, and since Tim has to explain everything, I'll let him tell you about her.
Haley Bennett was the cutest girl in the 8th grade. The love of my life, but she didn't know it.
Kid, shut up, you're like 12 years old. So Tim goes home to his parents.
My life growing up was pretty normal. Regular home and family. My mom's name was Mary Webster.
Ah, so this is the famous Mary, and she even gets her own special introduction from the narrator. She must be really important. His dad Henry writes greeting cards and is played by David Bowie. Oh wait, I'm sorry, David Bowe. He's a character actor who's been in a lot of things from Transformers 2 to American Horror Story.
Like I said, It was a pretty normal house to grow up in.
I cannot emphasize how boring my life is. Of course, the parents are having money problems because it's a Christmas movie I'm reviewing, so it has to start out with depressing, mean, real-life shit. But this is why they can't get a dog.
Another mouth to feed, they need shots, constant attention every morning, every night. Your mother doesn't have time to take care of a dog.
I love the face she gives there. It's like, motherfucker, I'm the one working a real job. You write greeting cards all day. Why am I the person who has to do everything?
But Dad...
Oh, and what about that hamster that you had to have? Remember him? I don't remember whether he died of neglect or committed suicide.
Perfect family entertainment.
The wonderful goldfish who had to live in the wonderfully expensive aquarium and eat the wonderfully expensive sea kelp stuff. You had him 3 weeks. Then he went belly up.
I can't help it that they died.
Well, neither could they because you never fed him.
Yeah, I'm starting to agree that this kid shouldn't have a dog. Anyway, here's the end of a scene. Oh, that was just awful. So Tim goes to a bunch of homeless people. This won't end terribly. And one of the men is named Professor Thaddeus Widstone, played by Gordon Jump. Another character actor who's appeared in a lot of TV shows, but the only one I recognize is George's Play Now boss on Seinfeld. Anyway, he tells them all about a special star that'll appear that night in the constellations that was apparently the same type of star that the Star of Bethlehem was. And it can grant any wish.
I just want a dog for Christmas.
No problem, Sonny. We're fixing to have one for supper.
Yeah, I don't trust these people. Oh, and if you think that's not creepy enough, listen to the professor after Tim says he'll stop by after dinner.
It's a special night. Magical, really.
This kid's gonna get murdered. Anyway, now we turn our main character into a spoiled little brat. He asks his mother again for a puppy, and when she refuses...
Yeah, but what about Christmas?
Oh, honey, there's gonna be other Christmases.
I don't want other Christmases. I want this Christmas. How come you guys are doing this to me?
Oh, screw you, you little shit. So Tim sneaks out and goes to the homeless people, even bringing some stew. So apparently he can only make one wish and he can't change it, so of course he's gonna mess it up.
I wanna be
Oh, that it actually was a yellow jacket.
a dog.
That's how he becomes a dog. A bee shows up in the middle of winter, and of course he says, "A bee," you know, like we all do, and finishes the wish. He didn't even say "I wish," he said "I wanna." This kid's a little jerk. I don't even think the star messed anything up. I think he just wanted to punish this kid. When he starts walking home, he begins to feel bad. You can tell because of the narration.
I told myself, don't panic. Don't panic.
Oh,
Ow!
And the next morning, the sheriff wakes him up and we get a first-person view of him walking home. And here's his reaction when he finds out he's turned into a dog.
I was a dog. The only kid in the universe who turned himself into a dog.
He's saying that in a way like he just made a small mistake. Like, damn it, I left the headlights on all night, now my battery's dead. Also, the dog looks happy.
Look at that stupid mutt over there. He's wearing a scarf. Quarter says I can hit him.
What the hell's wrong with you? You're not a bully, you're a psychopath.
Then I saw her, the one person who'd always helped me before.
Please don't start humping her leg, Tim.
Are you lost, boy?
No, I just turned into a dog. Could have happened to anybody.
Seriously, dude, no time for jokes. He runs home, leaving his scarf with Haley. His parents notice he's not in his room, but Tim manages to sneak in unnoticed, write a note with his mouth saying he's been kidnapped. That happens. Why he couldn't write down and communicate with them that he's Tim, I don't know.
You know...
No, you check the shower to see why a whimper came from it. She finds the note, but the dad doesn't seem that concerned.
No, he hasn't run away. He said I left early. I'll be back soon.
No, it said he's been kidnapped. So now Tim must find the professor to help him, and nothing will stop him from finding him as soon as possible.
I had to find the professor, but I had to get something to eat first.
You're really stupid.
Whoa, hey, pal, whatever happened to shaking hands?
Stop making jokes, kid. You're in very real danger. He goes to the warehouse to find the professor, but he isn't there.
Good doggy.
Okay, I'm not sure if he's going to eat or fuck this dog, but either way, run, Tim, run! No, instead he tries to draw a picture of the professor in the snow, despite the fact that we already have seen he can write in English. So he runs off, even coming across Ralph. Well, that's nice, but oh no, dickhead's got a gun.
Chicken stealing son of a...
Dove family approved. Thankfully, Tim comes across an RV full of the whitest family since the Wardens and the biggest fan, who say they're going to West Valley.
Oh, that's convenient.
He sneaks aboard, and thankfully the only one to notice him is the youngest. We get this really weird scene where the dad thinks she's in the bathroom, but it's actually Tim who locks the door, which he hears, but then finds the girl behind him, and he leaves. You have a stowaway, sir.
Whew, must have been those sausages.
So he leaves a note on the steering wheel saying to call his parents' number and tell them he's okay. There are several things wrong with that sentence. He finds it but thinks it's a prank. So Tim runs for a while, getting pretty tired, coming across a small house. Kitty!
Uncle John.
Oh great, she's senile.
Must have been lonely there by herself. I felt sorry for her.
Kid, you're a dog! Tim's picture appears in the paper, not that he cares. The next day she leaves, locking the door behind her.
I'm locked in. What am I gonna do?
Who gives a shit? What about the cat? Well, he manages to make it out through the window and even brings the kitten in, who somehow survived the freezing cold night, leaving it there for the old woman. Tim eventually comes across a skunk and for some reason goes near it. Yeah, that's something a dog would do, but he has the mind of a human.
Just my luck, charged by a mad, pudgy skunk.
You are a dog! I've never seen someone so nonchalant and jokey about something so terrible happening to them. He's chased by some wolves. Hey, is that Bob the Bobcat? Wait a minute. Are all these the same animals? The skunk, the wolves, the raccoon? Where's Mother Cougar, damn it? They wouldn't invite me back this time after I ate the porcupine. If you're wondering, he was delicious. This goes on a while, but he eventually loses them.
I'd left him like a dirty shirt.
What? No, wait, one found him. Thankfully, though, Ralph shows up and manages to fight him off.
The world's biggest bear.
Winslow! I'm gonna eat you. I'm gonna eat you, damn it. Ralph just goes up and attacks it, despite the fact that I'm pretty sure he could outrun him. How does this end? What did you expect, you dumb dog? Also, holy shit! Sir, what is the meaning of Christmas? Well, Tim scares Winslow off, but Ralph is still hurt.
Ralph was just lying there, bleeding. He wasn't breathing. He had sacrificed himself. For me.
Ah, yes, one of the saddest dog deaths in movie history. Old Yeller, Marley and Me, I Am Legend, fucking Christmas Tale. Oh, and it's not only Ralph and his shitbag owner at this park, miles away from town, but also Haley and her dad, because this is something you would do a couple of days before Christmas.
Oh, that's convenient.
They even take him home. Wasn't the whole point of coming here to find the professor? So this whole trip was completely pointless. They find the professor the next day, but he still needs to tell him he's Tim. Hey, write it. No, he just figures it out because of a scarf, because, you know, scarves are very unique. Unfortunately, as he said earlier, he can't change his wish.
You know, there just may be something.
Oh shit, he just yeeted into the fifth dimension. Yoink. No, he's being arrested for kidnapping Tim as he was the last person seen with him. I mean, he was seen with several other people, and the only way they would know that is if one of the homeless guys told him, but whatever. Stupid things happen as Tim locks the sheriff out of the car, and the professor tells him someone else has to make a wish for him to be human again.
Head in.
The sheriff suffocated to death that day, leaving behind a wife and 3 children. After that, he comes across the sheriff again, as well as asshole McFuckface that leads to a standoff between the two.
You cost me plenty, you no good son of a... Don't shoot, Owen!
Oh, and that guy from the RV finally called his parents. Once again, Tim comes across the sheriff and we get a chase scene. He eventually catches him, locking him in a cage. Oh no, how's Tim gonna get out of this one?
Just one tiny latch on this cheap cage. Little push with the old paw.
God fucking damn it, stupid fucking bullshit, whatever, fucking stupid. But the sheriff does find the professor and arrest him.
I always ended up in the same place, it seemed.
Almost like this movie is really repetitive. He comes across Haley at his parents' place. Again, he could just write down that he's a dog. I mean, if my dog could write, I'd believe anything he'd say.
Hey, Tanner, write something. No, come on, write something. Write. Don't eat my shirt. Just write something. Useless.
The parents realize that actually is Tim's scarf. By the way, who has 2 Christmas trees? But they keep him for the night as it seems Tim is resigned to his fate. Not that it seemed to bother him that much. Thankfully, the professor got out of jail and he brings Haley, who admits her feelings for Tim and makes a wish for Tim to be human again.
Nothing. Still a dog.
No, it works. It just took a while. So yay, Tim is human again. I'm still not sure why Mary has to have her own credit. And the star disappears. Oh, and it turns out Ralph is alive and the asshole owner, who's now in jail, agreed to give it to them. So Tim got his dog and the girl. Oh, and if you're wondering how the professor was able to escape from jail...
Don't complain about the weather to me. Look, I told you, Deputy.
You just permanently changed a man into a pig for the crime of trying to bring in a guy who possibly kidnapped a child? Also, he was never a champion of anything, and he never looked like that. This poster is a bunch of lies. So that was A Christmas Tale. It's not very good. It's pretty repetitive, the acting is hit and miss, and the main character is way too jokey for the situation he is in. That said, it's pretty harmless. The message is fine, the animals at least seem well trained even if they're terrible actors, and there is a certain cheesy charm to it. Again, I guess for the 2.5 cents I spent on it, it's fine. If you can find it for free on streaming, maybe you'll get some enjoyment. And if your kids want to watch it, it'll distract them. Not good, but harmless. Well, I guess that wraps it up for everything on this DVD set and also reviews for 2022. I hope you all have a happy holiday season. Check out Revenue Reviewers and also Broadway Cares via the links below. And I'll see y'all later for my annual end of the year trilogy. See you next time. Bye.
Psycho.